Hello and welcome. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a modal with an backdrop. So I have a NextJs project set up here. I'm using the app router. So this is my root page. This is the root layout. I have a simple I'm exporting the root page. I'm exporting a simple React component. In that I'm returning a div with some tailwind classes I've given. As you can see on the right hand side of the screen, I've created a div. I've given it a height of dynamic viewport height, so it will take the height of the viewport. If I resize the viewport, it will dynamically adjust the height as well. So we're going to create a model. First of all, inside this div, I'm going to create another div. Just a second. And I'm going to give it a class name. So Next.js by default uses tailwind. So I'm using tailwind inline styling here. I'm going to give it a height of width 1/2, which will give it a width of 50% of the viewport width, and I'm going to give it a height of 1/2 as well for now. I'm going to give it a background bg white, and let's say a border radius rounded rounded of LG, that's 8 pixels. Let's save this and see what we get. So I'm getting a container with a white background and some border radius. So this is going to be our modal, and now we'll create a backdrop behind this. So to this container, this white container, I'll give it a position of fixed. Position fixed will take it outside the flow of outside the synchronous flow of HTML. And I'm going to give it a position top of 1/2 and translate y of 1/2. This is how we center the position fixed and position absolute HTML elements. This is a CSS trick that we do. Also, I'm going to give it left of. Let's remove the item center first. Item center. Justify center as well. Py of 10. So we have centered the div vertically. Now we need to center it horizontally. That's along the x-axis. So I'll copy these two. Paste it. So I'm going to give it a left of 1/2 and translate x of. Why is this okay? So we have centered the this div horizontally and vertically as well. So inside the div, let's give something that we can read. Let's say h3 of this is a modal create a class name of text black, text LG font semi bold. So I get this text. This is a modal. I'm also going to add a close button. Let's say button and give it a text of close. So the heading h3 and the button are inside this modal. So let me center these two so that it will look a little better. I'm going to give it a flex of column. It will line these two, this heading and the button, in a column. If I give it only flex, it will the default flex position is row, then they will be arranged in a row. When I give it a call, they will be arranged in a column. So when I save this, you'll see no changes. But if I remove the flex call, let's say removing the flex call, okay, something's wrong here. BG white rounded LG flex black. So this is inside this. Okay, let's give it a flex of call and items center, justify center. Save this. So I've centered these inside this modal. Let's give this button a little bit of styling. Class name, let's give it a border. Let's give it a radius rounded. Small. Let's give padding vertical of 2, padding horizontal of 4. So we've got this border around the button. Let's give it a little bit spacing between these two. So as I have given flex to this container, the modal container, I can give a gap of 2 between these. So I got a little bit of a gap of 8 pixels between these. Let's give it some more gap. Now let me add a backdrop. So I want the backdrop to be a little bit dark when the modal opens, so that the modal is more visible. Let me add the backdrop now. I'm going to add a div, and I'm not going to add anything inside that div. I'm going to give it a class name, fixed insert 0, VG black, and an opacity of 50%. see, so I've got a backdrop, and I'm going to give it a z index of 10, and to the modal I'm going to give a z index of 20, so that it remains above the backdrop. Okay, now I have got a modal. So now I'll add the functionality. I have to add when I close on this button, the modal closes. I'm going to add a extra button that opens the modal, and when I click on the backdrop as well, the modal should close. So let's do that. So I'm going to so this is a React, I'm using a NextJs project. So by default in the app router, all the components are server components, so I need to add this directive, use client, client. So now I'll be able to add React hooks. So const show modal and set show modal equals use state. So as you can see, an import was added automatically when I clicked on use state. So by default show modal is going to be false. So I'll conditionally render this these two things. If the show modal state is true, the modal will be shown, and if not, then this blue sky blue background will appear. So to conditionally render these two, I'll use the ternary. Let's cut this, and I'll render a fragment, and inside the fragment I'll paste this, and I'll wrap the fragment inside the curved braces. Let's say show modal, and then if show modal is true, then only then it will render whatever is inside this fragment. So if I save this, the modal is disappeared because initially the show modal state is false. If I turn it true manually, you can see the modal again. So I need to wire it with a button or something. Let's make this false again. Sorry, false. So let me render a button as well. Let's close this. So outside of this snippet and inside the screen, home screen, you can say, I can render a button. Let's say button, you can say open modal. So we have a button here. Can give it a styling, class name border, padding vertical of 2, px of 4, rounded of small. So we have, it's taking the entire space. So temps can add self center, or I can remove the flex. You can see when I remove the flex, now it's not taking the entire height of this container, of this parent container. So let's add the flex. Item center, justify. Now we have centered the button. So when we click on the button, the modal should appear. We need to add that functionality. Now we're going to add an on-click listener. On click, we're going to wire a function, an arrow function that will set show modal to whatever negation, opposite of whatever is in show modal. If it's false, it will turn it to true. If it's true, it will turn it to false. So if I click on open modal now, I should see the modal. Let's click. So this is working now. We need to work on this close button and this backdrop. Let's go inside this code snippet again. So we can copy this on click listener and paste it here. So when we close on the close button, the modal closes. Click on the open button, the modal opens. Now let's add the same functionality to the backdrop. So backdrop is our empty div with nothing inside. So we'll paste the on click listener here as well. So when we click on the modal opens. Close button, it works fine. Backdrop, it works fine as well. Thank you.